How are we, guys? The gloves are off with myself, former British light welterweight champion Curtis Woodhouse. So today I am going to talk about the time I was asked to throw a fight. Loads of people have asked me this before. Have you ever been asked to throw a fight? And I've always said no, but I have. I've been asked to what's the word? I've been asked to throw a fight. Yeah, to take a dive. That's the line I was looking for. To take a dive, and it was in 2017. So I retired in 2014. Obviously, I won the British title. I then boxed Willie Limond, boxed for the British and Commonwealth titles, and I lost on a majority decision up in Scotland, and I retired. And 3 years later, I ballooned up to 19 stone 1. I was at my heaviest. I don't know if I've told this story before, but I went out of my back door. I was going to go for a walk with my son, my eldest son. It was in the summer, and I was walking up the road, and I was walking for about 2 minutes. And I started to get really, really dizzy and really, really faint. And I thought, oh, I'm going here. And I had to stop. And I said to my son, I'm going to have to walk back. So he walked back to the house with me. And I walked into our back door, which at the time led onto our kitchen. And my wife was there. And I walked in and my face was like a beetroot. I was red raw. Like I don't know if I was having a heart attack. It was that bad. And I was like panting and sweating. Bear in mind, I'd been walking. I'd walked for a couple of minutes. And my wife said to me, oh my God, what's wrong with you? I said, I don't know. I just got really dizzy on my walk. And I was huge. Let's say 19 stone 1. Bearing in mind, I boxed at 10 stone. And I sat down. I had a glass of water, cup of tea. And I felt okay. I don't know what came over me. I don't know what it was. Still to this day, I don't know what was wrong with me. But I sat on the settee and I thought, I need to get some weight off. So I decided to start training again. And I couldn't hardly do anything. Literally, it was literally a walk and just to get my heart rate up. And I ended up ringing Steffi Bull. And I rang Steffi and said, I'm gonna start training again. If I get back into shape, I'm gonna fight again. Do you fancy managing me? And he said, come over, let's have a cup of tea and we'll have a chat about it. And I walked in, and the first thing he said to me was, oh my God. I'd not seen Steffi for years at that time. He said, there's no way you're going to fight again. I think he thought I was going to be like 12 and a half stone or whatever. And I walked in at 19 stone 1, and he was like, wow. And he said to me, go away, get some weight off, and come back in 6 months' time or whatever it is, and we'll have a chat then. But he said, you can't look at the size of you. And he was right. I was huge. Anyway, fast forward 6 months. I'm in shape. I've ended up dropping nearly 7 stone. I'm back to 12 stone. And then I started training for a fight. I decided I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to fight again. I'm going to get back into shape. Something about me is I'm an addict. So if I'm doing something, I am hammering it. And that's what it was like with training. I got training again. I started feeling good, hitting the bag. So I thought, right, okay, let me see if I can start sparring again and get back into shape. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I got back into shape and I signed with Steffi and I was going to fight again. And my aim was to, I don't really know I had an aim. I just wanted to fight again, to kind of get into a routine, to get healthy again, really. That's why I decided to fight, was to get healthy again. And I made my comeback at 11 stone. So I dropped 8 stone. And I boxed a guy called Arvidas Trisno. Yeah, in 2017. So I've been out the ring for 3 years. And I'd done my sparring and everything. I was back. And I wasn't the same fighter as I used to be. I kind of knew that, but I still could beat some kids. And I was back. And yeah, and I boxed this Arvidas Trisno. A week before the fight, my phone rings. And it was somebody on the other end of the phone. I won't mention names because it'll get us into trouble, I suppose. I don't want to get anybody into trouble. And he said to me, have you seen what price you are to lose your next fight? And I was like, no. He told me what website it was on. He said, go on that website, ring me back once you've had a look. So I had a look, and I was 66 to 1. Sorry, so the guy, this Arvidas Trisno, who at the time who had 27 wins and 91 losses against a former English and British champion. He was 66 to 1 to beat me. So I looked at this website, yeah, 66 to 1 he was. So I rang my friend back straight away, and I was like, wow, 66 to 1. Unbelievable. He said to me, you are never, ever, ever going to be 66 to 1 ever again. He said, we can get some money on this. You can make a fortune. He said to me, you've been out for 3 years. You've dropped 9 stone. He said, if you come out and he hits you in the body and you fall apart and go to the canvas, nobody will batter an eyelid. He said, nobody will batter an eyelid. He said, we can get at least 5 grand on. And he went through the ways of how they can get it on. He said, we'll put it into a football bet, Man U at home to win, and Trisno to beat you in a double, a £10 double or whatever. The way he explained it, he'd done this before. Maybe not with boxing, but with other bets. And he said, we can get you 5 grand on, no problems. We do it all over the country, all and around at the same time. He said, we'll back him to beat you by, I think it must have been by stoppage, was 66 to 1. And he said, and nobody will batter an eyelid, mate. And he says, and you will make a fortune. We'll all make a fortune. And I must admit, I was like, wow. We're talking a lot of money. I don't know what 5,000 times 66 is, but it's a big chunk of dough. And I'd be a liar if I say I didn't kind of like contemplate it for a second. And I said to him, I said, I can't. My ego, my pride, and my love for the sport could never, and I'd sold a load of tickets, could never let me. My kids were at the fight as well. Could never, ever let me take a dive. I can't do it. And he was like, listen, have a think about it. This is like a life-changing opportunity, and it will never, ever happen again. You'll beat this kid. You move on to the next fight. You know, you probably, and I think the fight after that was, I was trying to get, I was in an eliminator for the Commonwealth title. So 66-1, you said it's a one-off opportunity, this is. Oh, no, sorry, after this I boxed Louis Van Poch, and then I was boxing John Wayne Hibbert in an eliminator for the Commonwealth title. A fight that never went ahead because Scott Westgar passed away, and he was the fight on before us. We were the main event, so the whole show got pulled. So he said this is a one-off opportunity for you to make an absolute fortune. He said, sleep on it, have a think, and let's chat tomorrow. And I did have a think as well, because it had been crazy amounts of money. But again, like, I mean, I always prided myself as a fighter, someone who loved the sport, someone who always fought hard, always trained hard, always gave everything. I still like it now when I go to shows and people say, oh, I remember watching that fight. What a fight that was. I like that. Like I said, I was never the best. I was never super skilled. But if you paid to watch me fight, I always prided myself on, I was going to give it my best, give it my all. And my ego wouldn't let me do it. My ego wouldn't let me, like, take a knee in front of my wife, my kids, my mum, all my family. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. He rang me up the next day and he said, listen, we're all set here. And he explained again how we were going to do it. They were all going to put money on it round about the same time at bookies all over the country. And he said, because they're mixing it in with football bets and stuff like that, he said, not all the bets will come through. Some will go down. But the way you're going to spread it all over, he said, it won't even register. You know, you put a £50, £25 double on. He said, it won't even register, mate. He said, no one will even batter an eyelid until it's too late, until you've been dropped with a body shot and stayed down for the 10 count, and we've all cleaned up. And I said to him, I can't do it. My pride, my ego can't let me do it. But yeah, that was the night. Not sure what the exact date was. I know it was 2017 when I was asked. I wasn't putting it under any pressure at all. You know, it wasn't kind of a case of, you know, we've got your dog here. If you don't take a dive, your dog gets it. It was none of that. It was somebody I know really, really well. And it was just an open and honest conversation. And they just laid it out on the line of what they can get on and potentially, financially, how much that would be worth to me. And it was like, wow, yeah. But that's just not me. I could never do that. I just wouldn't be able to do it and look myself in the eye when it was all over. I couldn't do it, and I'm glad I didn't. Money in it, you know. Money's the cheapest thing you can have. There's money all over the world, but I suppose pride costs a hell of a lot more. But there's some mornings I wake up and think, ooh, come in handy, that money would. But yeah. Avinas Trisno in 2017, the night I was approached to take a dive. I hope you enjoyed the story. It's the first time I've ever spoke about that. Loads of people have asked me before, have you ever been asked to take a dive? And I've just always said no, but I have. And that's the story behind it.